Hey guys, welcome back. I just edited the title for the last video. Like the first video we did today kept getting demonetized. It was the video about SpongeBob, so we went in and we deleted that video. This is the video to make up for that video. It's gonna be the fifth video we do to replace that one. So let's get right into it. All right, here we go, baby. And we're back. Uh, let's get to it. This is we might have a problem. This is
They're great!
video. Hopefully it's good. Some stuff you can say.
Disney Speedstorm is available now on both mobile and PC with Google Play Games.
With their ideology.
Welcome back to their hot takes video, and the first one says CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre should main event Bad Blood. No ifs and no buts. And honestly, because of this, we might have a huge problem with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, and Triple H, and the entire WWE. As we know, CM Punk and Drew have the best feud going into Bad Blood. They have the match that has the most hype, and it's going to be a hell in a cell because there's a lot of beef between these two people. Then you had Roman Reigns and Cody just team up and reportedly take their main event spot, and that could lead to a huge problem. I think CM Punk and Drew should main event, but then again, you got Roman Reigns, the biggest star in the world, and then also Cody Rhodes, who is a top 5 star in the world as well as the WWE champion. We got a big problem, and a lot of people are thinking that CM Punk might crash out because this user on Twitter says the bloodline just awakened a mythical wrestler and they aren't ready. CM politician. Like I said, this could become a big problem if CM Punk is truly upset with the fact that he doesn't get the main event. Who knows? The man might have another backstage brawl. Hopefully, that isn't the case, and I kind of trust CM Punk won't, but I really think that WWE should consider making that the main event of the show. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I really don't think it matters too much. Like, yes, do I want and prefer CM Punk's main event with Drew? Yes. However, if they open the show, it's not the end of the world. I'm just hoping there's no problems, but if there are, honestly, a CM Punk and Roman feud could start from this very storyline, so it's not a terrible idea.
I don't think he
Speaking
would
of Drew and CM Punk,
be
this
mad
hot
about
take
it.
says
It's
that
it's
Drew
not like
needed
this is
Punk to elevate his
WrestleMania.
career, and
If
I
it was
completely
WrestleMania, it was
agree.
not
I think Drew's
like-
always been a great start to
And,
have
like,
in
they
the
just gave it to, like, a
WWE, but his feud with
women's
CM Punk
champion,
took him to
maybe.
the next level, and he feels like an even bigger star than before. Drew has now entered that territory where he can main event with Roman, where he can main event with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Gunther. It doesn't matter because I think CM Punk put Drew on that level. This feud has been great for both men. The last hot take about CM Punk in this video says that Punk should turn heel next year, and I totally agree. I think a lot of people are expecting CM Punk and Seth Rollins to wrestle in a singles match at WrestleMania, and that is when he turns heel. But if WWE pivots and we get CM Punk versus Roman, then a heel Punk versus Roman would go absolutely insane. I hope it happens. Gaming Lord says that Cody's title reign has become better after the segment with Roman, and that's what happens when you have Roman freaking Reigns. The guy does everything and elevates everything in the WWE to feel extremely special. This hot take from Twitter says that The Rock beating Cody for the title would be terrible for the WWE, and I can see how people might think that would be a problem, but I don't mind it too much if The Rock were to beat Cody at like maybe Netflix on Raw the first episode in January and only hold the belt for a few months and then maybe drop it back to Cody or Roman. I don't see a problem with The Rock being champion, honestly, because I think that it'll be a cool run. I think he would show up plenty of times. We saw what he did last year. He was showing up at least 2 or 3 times a month, which is pretty good, honestly. So I would not mind if The Rock actually wins the title and holds it for a few months. But if he's holding it for a year, now that's a little just too much, all right? So I hope that doesn't happen. Another hot take from Twitter says that Roman does not need another world title reign ever again, and I completely disagree. If Roman does ever win a championship and has the run that he had last time where he barely shows up, then I would agree. But just based off this return right now, he's showing up a decent amount of times, and this is what we need from Roman. Honestly, all I want from a part-time world champion is for them to show up 2 or 3 times a month. I think there's no problem if that is the case. You know, you can go by a week without the world champion, but it's a problem when it's months and months. Speaking of world champions, Blazingville says that Gunther's reign has the possibility of being a top 10 reign if done right, and I think it's just too early to tell. I don't think that Gunther, there's been so many great world champions that I just can't see Gunther beating the top 10. It was a different story with the IC Championship because there weren't many long great champions with that belt, but for the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship and all world champions, it's just a lot harder to get in that top 10 list. Justin Jones says that Chad Gable needed the IC Championship more than Jey Uso. Changed my mind. Spoiler, you're not. And I kind of agree and disagree. What I agree is that I think Chad Gable should have been the IC champion, but they should have done it a different way. He should have beaten Gunther, or he should have beaten Sami Zayn. And then imagine Jey Uso beating Chad Gable. That would have been a lot better than Braun Breaker being the one to lose to Jey Uso, because you would have given Chad the IC Championship. And then Jey would have completely got even more over by beating Chad Gable and his Goon Squad. This hot take says that WrestleMania 41 should feature a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens, and I would not mind one bit if this were to happen, but if I had to pick, I would rather want to see a singles match between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Champion if they go down that route. Cinema Love says that Miz is more WWE Hall of Fame worthy than Daniel Bryan. I gotta say, yes, I can see the argument you're making in this hot take, but to me, and I think a lot of other people, Daniel Bryan is still more Hall of Fame worthy. But at the end of the day, I think they're both going into the Hall of Fame. I think if Daniel Bryan wants to, I don't know if he really wants to because the guy's all in on AEW, but if he ever were to come back maybe 20, 30 years down the line just to get an induction, I could see that happening. Silverwatch says that Vince McMahon's documentary was mid AF. I completely agree. There was nothing new. If you follow WWE and you consider yourself a fan, you pretty much knew everything that went down. But I will say it was a well-produced and edited and well-done documentary, especially for casuals who will watch this and say, "Damn, that's pretty interesting. I never knew that."
Don't do it! You can still earn income while learning how to code! I'm a janitor! There's no experience required!
The next hot take says that the crowd booing Dom loudly when he's about to speak is just getting old, and to me it's not, so I gotta disagree with this hot take. I love it. Every time it happens, I always have a smile on my face. It's a lot of fun. It makes it very difficult for him to even speak, and I can't wait till he turns babyface and the crowd likes him so he can finally cut a promo. This hot take says that Survivor Series War Games PLE makes no sense, just like the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view when they were doing that. I completely agree. I think we got to stop with the War Games at Survivor Series every single time. We can maybe see this maybe once every 2 or 3 years, or maybe do it at different pay-per-views depending on the story, but I don't think there's a need to do it at every Survivor Series. The next hot take says that Money in the Bank shouldn't be an annual thing if they don't have a good plan for whoever holds the briefcase. And I gotta completely agree. Like, for example, Drew McIntyre winning, there was no need for him to win just to fail to cash in later in the night. It was kind of redundant with all the times that CM Punk was screwing Drew. So I agree with this hot take. It's a good one. The next one comes from Twitter and says WWE would have too many titles if they introduced 2 women's mid-card championships. That really hurts to say because they deserve it, but it is true. I don't think it's true at all. Adding the women's IC and the women's US championship is a great idea. I think they should do it. I have zero problem with it. If anything, it'll have more meaningful matches on Raw and SmackDown, and also better storylines for the women. So I have no problem with it. I don't think it's a problem at all.
I think
Icy says that feeding American Made to the Wyatts was just stupid. Chad needed to be pushed. The Creed brothers needed to be pushed, and they just look like jobbers against the Wyatt Six. For what exactly? Their rivalry kind of ended like nothing significantly even happened. This is a good hot take. I agree with it 100%. I don't know why Chad Gable on American Made would lose. It kind of made them look stupid. You kind of killed all the momentum once they just got it after forming. Hopefully things can turn around, but right now things aren't looking too good for American Made. Devin says that Brock Lesnar's overhated when it comes to his wrestling and UFC career. I don't know about UFC too much. I didn't watch Brock Lesnar or his UFC career, but when it comes to wrestling, I think that Brock has one of the best wrestling careers of all time. He's one of the best wrestlers ever. Kevin says that the Great Khali is the #1 worst wrestler of all time. I low-key liked Great Khali, at least before he, became a babyface and joined Santino Marella. That's when he got too goofy for me. But when he was a badass heel in 2008, that's when Great Khali, in 2007 too, that's when he was awesome. So I will say Great Khali is not the worst wrestler of all time. There's plenty of other people that are worse than the Great Khali. 10-Star Classic says that this is day 351 of asking to be in one of these videos, and their hot take is Edge is the greatest heel of all time just because they asked so many times, I feel like I gotta include it in the video. And this is also a good hot take, but I don't agree with it. I think Edge is probably in the top 10 or 15 best heels of all time, but he is not number one. I think you got people like Triple H, you got people like Vince McMahon, you got people like Randy Orton who are ahead of him. Ric Flair is another great name. So while Edge is in the top 10 or 15, he's not number one. And Krypton Elite says that Edge has the worst spear of all time. That is something I can agree with. Edge's spear is just not good. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's one of the worst. I'm not a huge fan of it. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I'll see you all in the next video.
I just like when he do with his hands. That's probably the only thing I like. If it was even if he did a Roman Reigns spear, like he did that, and he did like Roman Reigns spear, it might be better. But him just hitting that, he hit that the Big Show type spear. I like Batista's. I've seen Batista's spear. It's not bad. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. I'll see you on the next one.